caught in the crossfire. It's caught in the.
By the way, this is my personal custom hoodie. If you want this personal custom hoodie, that is a 2XL, over a 2XL. It's $500. Ha! It's so much money. Yeah, whatever. Alright, so, I guess we can get started with this whole, podcast idealism. I'm not really a fan of podcasts. You will find that I will not be doing any more podcasts with anybody. Because once I started getting to the world of thinking of podcasts, I started to realize, oh wow, everyone who does a podcast, they always have some sort of malicious intent to get content, right? And they're boring and they're weird and they don't make it exciting. It's just an interview it's like people who are celebrities doing interviews. It's not really something that is my thing. They're just boring and they're just not entertaining to me. And I always feel like they're trying to poke the bear with me. And when you poke this bear, this lion, you're going to get snapped back. And they know that. And so that's why I've come to the conclusion of, I'm not really going to dabble in any of that shit anymore and give these people this fucking content. Because I'm not a podcast dude. I'm not a talk show host guy. I'm not a host. I'm a singer. I've had 7 albums out. Steve, a podcast was pretty cool though. Yeah. He was probably the nicest person I've ever done a podcast with. If I want to do a podcast, I'll do one. That's my prerogative, not yours. Appreciate it. I appreciate your unsolicited advice. Just go on everyone else's podcasts. No, I'm good. The only other one I probably do is only ever again is probably Adam 22. No Jumper, just because I like him and I think he's a nice guy. Vlad TV, he's more of an interviewee, but an interviewer rather, and he's cool too. I like his interviews. I like the way he conducts everything, and so I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? But some of these other fucking podcasts, man, they're odd. No one's talking about points. No one's talking about things that can help our society. No one is talking about. They're just talking about a bunch of fucking hippity hoopla, just fucking bunch of bullshit, And to me, I'm just like, all right, well, this is boring. Like, what the fuck? Like, be real. Joe Rogan. No, I wouldn't go on. I would not go on Joe Rogan. I don't care if they call me up and be like, hey, go on Joe Rogan. I would not give 2 shits. I don't know Joe Rogan from a can of paint. Wasn't he on Fear Factor? Make Vlad the interviewee. I could do that, and I think a lot of these cats, they would owe me a podcast. Podcasts are nosy and boring. Joe Rogan is the GOAT. Well, Joe Rogan does do pretty successful, pretty cool podcasts. TFF stocking gift? No. This is my Norelco razor that I've had for a long time. You want me to join the beer game? I could, for sure. This is 1 day of not shaving. Like, holy biscuits. They say Vlad works with the feds. Okay? And they try to call me a pedophile and a rapist. Your point? I don't know Joe Rogan personally. And then you said he has a good podcast. Yeah, because that's what I've heard. But we'll get rid of you now. Bye-bye. Adios. Shoe fly, don't bother me. Go ahead and spend the next 5 minutes. Do I use a drum roll or two? I do. So, yeah, I mean, while we're on the subject of podcasts, if I was going to do it, it would be different, you know? It would be hot boxing. Isn't that Mike Tyson's? So many podcasts. It's like, is this the trend? Like, why does everybody always have to follow the fucking trend? You know what I mean? Yes, you can kick people off of our chats. Of course I can. Do you not feel you overdoing that track? No. You know what, Ryan? Merry Christmas and fuck you. Bye. Photographic memory. I remember all the shit you're saying. Get out of here. So who did a podcast that was malicious towards me? No one. I speak my truth, and then so I create my own malicious content. But it's my life. So I enjoyed your podcast till that one guy came on and spewing hate speech. Yeah, no, that's what they try to do. They make a living off of trying to ban my shit, you know? Ban my Twitter, ban this, ban that. I don't care. Just so we have an accord, I don't care about social media. Like, I sold like 15 million records before there was even internet, so I really don't care. It doesn't really faze me, to say the least. But what I can say is that out of all the podcasts that I've done personally, the most traction and the best, most active people on a podcast was Adam 22. So I did Adam 22. Next thing I know, it's like 6 months later, I have like 300,000 people. Let's go live. This is called Unsolicited. Get sober. It's not hard. Okay, let's have a conversation. Come on in. Or are you just going to pull the same card that everybody else does? Just say a bunch of bullshit. Oh my God, you're fucking fat, you little bitch. And run away? Is that what you are? Apullin, Apullin 19. Is that what you are? Because there's going to be a lot of people that they might not even fucking like me, but they won't like you. Yeah, you decline me, okay? Well, then look at what, so they're telling you to go away. I mean, bye. Emily just told you goodbye. Actually, it is hard to get sober if you're S. I don't know what that means, Chris. What's the purpose of these lies? To do this. Now you're gone. That's the purpose. The purpose is, this is my world, not yours. So stop coming in here thinking. Move on. Who cares? I don't like that. Bye. Who cares? I do. I care when people come on my account and they think they're triggering me. Oh, you're such a good person because you went out of your way to go trigger somebody that you don't know. You don't trigger me. I have 4 years of sobriety under my belt from a very serious addiction, and I'm alive today to tell my story. And you're the ones who look like idiots. That's why you come to my accounts. and you say all the shit that you say because you probably talked shit about me back in the day. We're like, oh, look at Eric, look how bad he looks, he's gonna die. Look at, instead of lifting me up, you always put me down. You always you don't encourage me. You don't lift me up. You don't fight off people. So then what the fuck are you doing here? Huh? You are here unsolicited. What was I addicted to? I was addicted to huffing duster cans, okay, for about 10 years straight and suffered about over 100 seizures. So, you can't have this kind of life, and you can't have waking up at 6, 7 in the morning, have a healthy baby, and be an active drug user. It doesn't work that way. So why don't you go educate yourselves? Because your IQs are right here. All right, and you're gonna need an IQ of at least 70 to attend public school. All right. Is there Mr. Gump? Mrs. Gump? He's on vacation. All right. So fuck you. Don't come up in here and try to put somebody down that clearly has changed their life around. In many ways, I take care of my employees. I take care of, I manage the properties. I take very good care of my family, mine, not the other family that I had before that is not there. So when you think you come to me and you think you're triggering me, you're fucking with a double Cancer moon Sagittarius fire sign. I ain't no bitch. And I'm not telling you that you're a bitch. And every time, yeah, it's true. Baby, you're right. And they won't even do it to my face. No, they won't do it to my face. Fucking dare you. Last time the cops came here, they had to search me for weapons. All right? They were literally like, we have to check you for a pistol. And I'm like, or a gun. I'm like, all right, check me. I said, my guns are inside, Sheriff. Like, what's up? Still got my boys. All right? So, am I going to fight Logan Paul? I would fight Logan Paul. I wouldn't fight Jake Paul, though. That motherfucker's a beast. He knocked the fuck out of fucking Tyron Woodley. Like, that was crazy. And it's just stupid. It's just stupid. They do it the same shit. Look at that. Like, the kid puts, 4 years into training, nonstop, up in Big Bear. Yes, they searched me for weapons. Yes. Am I a sociopath? Let's see. Let's see what the definition is. All right. So, a sociopath, what is the definition? A person with a personality disorder manifesting itself in an extreme antisocial attitudes and behavior and a lack of conscience. Well, one, I'm not a person with a personality disorder. Otherwise, I would be able to obtain a gun license in California. That's manifesting itself in an extreme antisocial attitude. I'm not antisocial. I'm on live all the time, and you're always telling me, oh, you're in live, you're in live. Well, you're on my live then, too. And behavior or lack of conscience. The behavior part, maybe, but I'm a human being. So I have every right to speak my truth. And you can't call somebody a sociopath because they're speaking their truth about their lives. All right? You have no right. You don't know. You're not here. You don't know what happens. Don't react to negative comments. No, that's what this is all about. I'll answer any of their fucking negative shit. All right? Whatever you got to throw at me, all right? Then do it. So, someone just said that antisocial means you do bad things that are not social. You're wrong. It actually is contrary to the laws and customs of society, devoid or antagonistic to sociable instincts or practices. Okay, so offensively causing someone to feel deeply hurt, upset, or angry. Right, if it falls under that category. So what's the difference between a psychopath, right, and a sociopath? Well, many people use the term sociopathy and psychopathy interchangeably, but they have different meanings. Sociopath is an unofficial term, unofficial, to describe a person who has anti personality disorder, whereas psychopathy or psychopathy, psychopathy, I don't know, psychopathy describes a set of personality traits. So do your due diligence before you come at somebody, because it takes me nothing but 2 seconds to look up a definition of what you think is grammatically correct, because it's not. So I don't, no. So to answer your question, I'm not a sociopath, anywhere close to it. There's 9 traits for being a narcissist, and I fall under the category of 6 of those. That means I'm 70% narcissistic, and move the fuck on. So yeah, I'm bringing attention to actual sociopaths. No one else is doing this. No, because they don't have the fucking balls. Psychosis. Well, psychosis is what you guys go through. Look at, you have accounts with bunnies on them. So you're the one who's dealing with the psychosis because you don't even have an identity. You don't even have one. And you're gonna call, so like, it's called, like calling the kettle black. You know what I mean? It's like, what is the trait of narcissist? You mean, what are the traits of narcissism? That would be grammatically correct. So I'm not going to answer your question if you're not going to be grammatically correct. I have a bachelor's in psyche. You are not a psychopath. I mean, I have the attitude of a man. All right. And that's just what it is. So, Kelda said, "Hi, Aaron. Just came in to the live with you. You look great. You aren't a psychopath. This is coming from a licensed therapist, and most of us have narcissistic tendencies. It allows for survival." That is so true. I'm gonna try to go live with you just because you sound brilliant. And it'd be a good little conversation, I think, since you are a licensed professional. Hey.
Oh, hi, Aaron. I didn't
How you
expect to be
doing?
live. I would have worn a better outfit. Hi.
Me too.
How are you?
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm just starting the day off. I started off today, so I reactivated my Twitter today or yesterday, and I go on Twitter and they're doing this rest in peace hashtag Aaron Carter. So it's RIP Aaron Carter, and then people are believing that I died, I drug overdose, all this kind of stuff, and it's all coming from a man named William James Witt, who is that kid that goes by Ganval.
Yes,
who I've told everybody about, pretty much. And I guess my question to you would be, first and foremost, how long have you been in the field of medical practice?
Yeah, so I am a licensed creative arts therapist in New York State, which is a form of psychotherapy. I'm a painter. I got my bachelor's in fine arts, and I was fascinated by psychology. And
Wow.
have a history of being in therapy, so I wanted to help people, but also through art, because as artists,
Oh,
we always express.
that's amazing.
We don't always use words, we use metaphors, like even in your new song. I love your new song. It's so beautiful. So much to say.
Oh,
But
thank you so much.
I've been practicing for 13 years, and I've always been a fan of you. And I've been very bothered by the things that have gone on, in the media. And I love to see you doing so well, Aaron. I know it's not easy. It's like complete and ultimate bullying to the utmost sickness. And I just wanted to stop.
Yeah, it's clearly more than meets the eye, because you see like cancel cultures and smear campaigns, but then you see how they come at me, and I'm just like, this is clearly an organization type of thing, because nobody does this kind of job for 3 years for free. So and that's so my so with that being said, um, based upon what you see. All right. So the way I try to break it down for people is like, okay, when I went to rehab 4 different times, and I studied Hazelden also when I went to Betty Ford. There was a quote in the book that said, "Never be afraid of being human."
Yeah.
And what you said is 100% accurate, and I realized it too. So I was on the live, and someone called me a narcissist, and I said, "Hold on, let me look up the traits of narcissism. 6 of them out of the 9 I qualify for." And and now I'm like, okay, next subject.
No, exactly, because that diagnosis, especially in media right now, is not really understood because we like to like use these names like, oh, that person's borderline, that person's narcissistic. Why don't you read up in the diagnostic statistics manual, and you'll see that you have a couple of the qualities too. Most therapists, it's a joke when we go to school and we take, courses in diagnosing. We all diagnose ourselves, our friends, our family members, because everybody falls into these categories in some way. Like, do we all meet most or all? Not always. All, not very often. That's rare.
Right, right. And here's so if I look up, narcissist traits, there's 9. So and then, these are the traits that we have that are listed, and I'm sure you already know them. But the traits that are listed are an inflated self sense of importance. I would say that I qualify for that a little bit because I've gone up and down, right? So once I got back up to a level that people probably didn't expect me to get to, I wanted to come across grandiose. And grandiose um, is also, one of the traits. Passive aggressive. Well, it's kind of hard to be passive aggressive, right, on the internet.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. And also if you take into context your history, your fame at a young age, like how could you not maybe have more of an ego than the average person or present yourself as such? It's needed at times. I mean, that's also what most
well,
people.
well, here, it's Kelda, right? That's your name, Kelda, right? It is okay. All right. Well, see, in my opinion, so let's say you were my therapist, right? And you're like, well, Aaron, you have some of these qualities. I would say, well, Kelda, I've learned in rehab to have that, and that's something that they taught me that I never was before, and that's how to be selfish, and you have to learn to love yourself, which clearly is a selfish type of quality in a lot of people's heads. But when you're a recovering drug addict and you're in recovery for 4 years plus, everything that kind of idealism of, oh, I got to be selfish, it changed to, I got to be selfish because I have a son, a kid, a family, my goals, my aspirations, my 5-year, 10-year plan, what I'm working on. They say another one is self-criticism. That are, well, absolutely, I am my biggest critic, so I fall under that category. Also, shyness, I don't fall under that. um Fantasies, um if I do have a fantasy, I make it come true. you
Well,
know if,
how do you
I can't hear you. I think you're plugging the mic. There you go. There you
create artwork? I mean, you have to have. Um,
go. So, and then they say other things like other mental health issues, long held grudges, envy, um, you know, and then they say, well, how can you tell if someone is a narcissist? He says, one, they have a self sense of entitlement, and a common sign of people with narcissism is the belief that they are superior to others and deserve special treatment. I have never ever thought that I deserve special treatment. If, let's say, for instance, I have fans, right? that come to my show, and there's two girls that happen to be in wheelchairs, and I call them my wheelchair princesses. And they'll come to the show, and they'll be they'll be right in front. So, and then other people will be pushing on them during the show, and they were the first ones in line. You know what I do?
What?
I stop my show, I go into the audience, and I have 4 security guards help me lift these people up onto the stage so that they can watch the stage from stage and not get injured or hurt. And a need for admiration, I definitely have that.
Well, I mean, but I think that without having that need, how would you motivate yourself to like keep doing what you're doing? I think when we look at these tendencies, we have to also ask ourselves, are they always negative? And they're not. They're not. And also, how does it really help us to even label ourselves like this? And labeling others in such a way, it's very disingenuous. It takes away from the actual person and actually understanding them.
See, and guys, just so you know, this is rare, but ever since I started this podcast, now these are the type of people I'm going to be bringing on and creating relationships with, and creating what she knows and what I know is called a secured attachment. Not
Right.
A lot of people know what secured attachment is. And I have a question for you. So you've seen what's going on with the Ganval, William James Witt, the kid in Florida who has all his people coming here, and now guess what? They all stopped. And then besides this one girl that said most psychologists are nuts just saying the truth.
Oh, well, the thing is, I mean, I think if anyone goes into mental health as a profession, hopefully they've gone through something themselves, but hopefully they also go to therapy.
Exactly. I was a big believer of not actually doing therapy at all for a long time. And then when I started doing it, I was like, you know what? I needed this really bad.
Yeah.
Even this conversation, I mean, she's a licensed professional in the medical field of what she does. And she's taking the time out and basically, giving her actual licensed medical professional commentary and advice that I hope the ones of you that are watching, because there's quite a few of you here that are watching, and you want to say something so bad. They want to say something so bad right now, but they can't conjure it right now. So my question is,
Sure.
Looking at the Ganval kid, did you see the sweater he made that said Melanie was a hooker, put my address on it?
I did not.
He said he was
That's
going to
hard.
wipe the blood like all over the sweater. Yeah. So that's the guy that comes after me. And his name is William James Witt. He's done stuff. He's talked to my brother's wife after they got restraining orders on me. And if I look this up, I don't know, I'm pretty sure he might have deleted it, but hold on one second, darling.
Sure.
I just want to know what your thoughts are on this. If I can even find it. But look at this. So this is Ganval 2 years ago talking to
anybody else on the internet.
Talking to my sister-in-law, Lauren. And this was after they accused me, right? And then she's talking to this kid that's been smearing me, and this is it. It's right here. So.
Oh, I see. It's.
You being here because it's crazy. Now I have this guy Shane saying he's gonna have me beaten and all this, and it's all been documented. I'm sure you know, and I'm totally okay with it. Like it's gonna be perfectly fine. But to have you behind me and all this, I really do appreciate it. And I'm sorry.
I felt bad for you when you were getting.
Why would she feel bad for somebody who's a nobody that she doesn't even know? And that's my brother's wife, and they're sitting there talking about basically trying to label me, and that's what all these people are doing, is trying to label me psychotic, manic, depressant, all these things, get me 5150, get me 5250, anything that they can. What, and so you hadn't seen the,
Not that, no.
no, I have to, so basically, this kid, Ganval William James Witt in North Miami, Florida, goes on, he gets one of my sweaters and he defiles it. And he writes, Melanie is a hooker. Aaron sends his dick to little girls or little, like, and is a rapist. Put my address on it. And then he said, we may or may, and he's filming himself. And he goes, we may or may not have somebody at a particular hospital that is going to get us the umbilical, the placenta, umbilical cord blood so we can wipe it all over the rest of the sweater.
Oh gosh.
What is your thoughts on a man like that? Is that somebody who is mentally okay?
No, not at all. And I use the word sick because I don't want to, again, get too into labeling. I know that's not very descriptive, but it's
Right.
clear somebody who it sounds like and looks like has no conscience. Okay. He doesn't go to sleep thinking I could have hurt somebody, right? Let's put it that way.
Right. Absolutely.
What he's basically saying about you, it seems to be some like conjured up projection. There's something going on within him that he makes a living off of this. This is a whole other level here. The internet, I know you've been working on this. They've got to do something about this.
Well, we are, and you see what I'm saying though. It's just, it's, I mean, there's been calls from him to restaurants. He doxed my number to over 400 people.
Aaron. Yeah.
He has disrupted my live streams with his bots. He harassed me, called the restaurant when I was at dinner, and got me, and then tried to say I was thrown out with Mel. I actually was just embarrassed, and I just left instead. He did something called a DX Trollathon.
Yeah.
All right. And it was hosted by him on November 28th. And it's 5 hours of clips of Aaron and me, and then taking donations to deface the Carter merchandise, right? So November 30th, there was another incident. December 12th, that's when it was a voice that was on a black screen telling everyone in Lancaster to go kill Aaron and his baby, and giving my address out. And then the odd part about this is on December 15th, it's odd behavior. It mentions so on December 15th, odd behavior from him, and he mentions he may need to stop streaming and leave the country and update his passport. Seemed to be in a bit of distress during this live. Reason right now it's unknown. There's another account called Ocean's Daughter, also in distress. Lots of admissions of guilt associated with William Witt, and these people are all being taken down all the way to Chinatown, and it's not going to stop. And I've paid tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars, and it's all going to be worth it. And
gosh, and this takes much time and energy from you now. You know, you're having to, I mean, you've
it does, but at the same time, you know, he's also, when he contacted me, he contacted, made contact when I was in a public gas station, and he made hate statements about me, calling me a fag, and while I'm shopping in the store, he's continuously calling the establishment that I was in, shopping inside of it, and that was about a year ago, and it's all documented. I've got all of it. So, but the weird one was, to me, was the sweater, just what he did with the sweater, and how he just basically said, you know, what he was gonna do, and trying to get like the umbilical cord blood and placenta from a particular hospital. I mean, that is a death threat, and now he is being pursued for written threat to kill. So
he just brought brought this to a whole other level. I mean, it was stalking, right?
Oh
Definite
yeah.
that.
I
Yeah.
mean, this is what he did. Look at this. This is what he did with my sweater. He
Oh,
changed
Aaron.
love to evil, put DX on it. Melanie's a hooker. Aaron Carter sends pictures of his penis to little girls. This is a different sweater. So there's another one that he did where he like added to it. And
what he's doing is he's labeling himself. He's really calling himself evil there.
is that what it is?
That's what I see. That's what I see quickly when I look at it. Yeah, it's like
And
almost
then he says right
labeling.
here on this,
Yeah.
banned from touring. And
Oh,
he's also said he's burnt Bibles on his lives. He's a satanic worshiper, and then these people are coming in my lives, and they're still keeping this up. This doesn't make any. It makes a lot of sense. I know who's behind it. I know who's doing it. It's obviously my brother, and it's obviously his wife. Because
okay.
why would a nobody named
Put this much
Ganval
time.
be talking to a Backstreet Boy wife?
Right.
And then all of a sudden they're acting like they're friends and shit. That doesn't work like that.
No,
You know?
I can see why you'd connect that. Like, absolutely. And then him putting and dedicating all this time to this. Why? Why is he doing this? Right. Putting himself now in legal trouble, major legal trouble.
Well, yeah. And, you can say hello to my, say hi.
Oh, hi, Melanie.
This is Kelda. She's a
Oh,
licensed
hi.
doctor and works in the field of psychiatry, psychology.
Licensed creative arts therapist. Yeah,
A
psychotherapist.
licensed creative art therapist. Okay.
Yeah.
And we were just talking because it's the podcast right now. And I'm doing it differently. Now I'm bringing professionals on. And why don't you ask Melanie a couple of questions about how it's been for her?
Yeah.
I'm just curious. I want her take on it
Yeah,
from you, from what I just explained to you. Here.
Melanie, I'm sorry you've been going through this. Aaron just shared with me. I had no idea what happened to the sweatshirt. It's just so horrific.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was,
Really, after just having your baby, I'm so sorry.
yeah, no, I think that was before it happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm fine. But yeah, what do you think about that situation with him?
Well, I think it's terrible, beyond terrible. There's really no words. I think it's so good that Aaron's organizing it all, and is dealing with it legally.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's a process.
I imagine that's so much work for you all when you're the ones that are
expensive too.
That's right. I know. I just think it's so sick that Aaron and you are continuing to deal with this, especially now having Prince.
But it's not normal because it's been going on for 2.5 years, and I get people but he specifically said, Kelda, that he trains people to do this, job, to do this.
Wow.
He trains people to do this. Okay, so what did I ever do to him?
Right.
Was me calling the kettle black, and basically letting everyone know that my brother, did some pretty funky, weird shit in his life, and had multiple rape cases and allegations and actual police reports, and then all of a sudden this person comes. Come on, let's put two and two together here, guys. It's not rocket science,
No, it's not just, and especially if you sense this, if you know this, then that's what it is. You wouldn't be feeling that way unless that's what's actually, is happening.
He's reached out to you when we break up?
Yeah. I think Ganval's has been blocked forever. He's never been able to reach me.
Is he, so even as of today, he's not slowing down at all? Or is this? No.
He like re-ups it. He'll revamp it. But like, she's new to all this. Like, she's not used.
Yeah.
I'm kind of used to it, but like, explain to her your take on this as a professional with creative arts. Rehabilitation and therapy.
just like looking at the visual, like just I'm looking at the sweatshirt alone when I could see it. It looked like he was calling himself evil. Like just by writing that underneath it, that would be my immediate analysis of such a thing. That's just my take on it. You know, it's kind of like he was labeling himself when he like tries to label Aaron. It feels like a big projection. But then, you know, what's motivating him to keep doing this when it's obviously horrific and getting to levels it shouldn't?
Yeah, you just have to take it into legal hands. I mean, at this point, there's
Exactly.
so that's what we've been doing. So
That's all you can do.
You don't think he's sick?
oh, he's very sick.
He's
I'm
sick in the head, and it's not a normal. To me, it's not a normal like. I've been doing this for 26 years. You know, it's not a normal
No.
type of situation. It's somebody. It's a plot and a scheme
Right.
to try to ruin me and
That
cancel
has-
me. All because of what? Because I tell the truth.
Well, people don't like the truth sometimes.
And
Okay.
you said it was projection, right?
Oh,
Ganval is
complete.
known. Ganval is known for giving these things, cough medicines called rubies, to an underage girl that he was with named Chloe Evans Blue. He's
Oh,
also a pedophile. His mother is in prison. His dad was
yeah.
kicked off of the medical board because for malpractice, and he lives with his dad, and his dad's petrified of him. And then all of a sudden you're friends with Lauren Kit, my brother's wife. That doesn't make sense.
So, you know, there's a lot of underlining anger, maybe, right? That again, he's taking out on you. Yeah, this is ooh. And I wish there was other things that you could do, but I can understand what Melanie's saying. You know, if you get yourself too entangled, right? A way to kind of keep a little bit of distance is to let legal help, but I guess they're not really able to help, huh? 100% right now. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we've gotten like yeah, we've gotten literally poop in the mail. That's crazy.
Oh.
Glitter
Yeah.
bombs, dick bags with dick gummies.
Oh gosh. So it's like, how do you take care of yourselves then while this is happening, right? So it doesn't take over your lives.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think that in these situations, it's like, I mean, on a lower form, of course, what it reminds me of is just bullying. It's bullying, but at a really high level.
And they just think they can get away with it because it's behind the screen, you know, and they're not in person, you know what I mean?
I know, it like shields it, right?
Yeah.
And my thought on bullying has always been that the only way to stop bullying is everybody stands up to it.
Which I don't ignore.
Yeah.
I don't, and everybody knows this place is like Fort Knox. What do I have in here?
Oh, he has his weapons.
I have big guns. I have very big guns.
So you guys are protected. Yeah.
I have 2 massive German Shepherds and very big guns for my Second Amendment, and no one will ever. They would be making the biggest mistake of their life if they ever even try to come close to this house and get in here. So.
No, so no one's going to come to your house.
The threatening to do that is against the law.
With rest in peace, Eric Carter.
I know.
Yeah, but you should not have to continue feeling this way. This needs to end. And people can say, don't let it affect you, but how do you not let it affect you, right? Like that's impossible. It's easier said than done.
And you know what? Here's the thing. If we don't all come, all right, so imagine, I use this analogy. Imagine somebody in a wheelchair, right? And they're drunk. And they're trying to cross the street, and they get mad at you, and they asked you for a cigarette, and you told them no, all right, and then they like threw their whiskey at you, and then they crossed the street, and they fell in the middle of the street. Would you just sit there and laugh at them, or would you pick them up?
Oh, I would pick them up.
You still pick them up even after what they did.
Yeah.
Right? That's how I look at it. It's like, are you just gonna let? So if you see somebody who is struggling with mental illness or anything like that, are you going to gaslight them and tell them, oh, you suffer from mental illness, when people already know that I'm treated and I'm not manic, I'm not depressant, a manic depressant, I don't suffer from mania, psychosis, none of those things. are
No.
in the category I have. Otherwise, I would not have a gun license in the state of
Right.
California. And it's so easy to put two and two together. They tried to get all my dogs taken away. Didn't work. They tried to get my kid taken away. They closed the case, unfounded.
Oh,
It just nothing sticks. So it's basically like when you're cooking spaghetti and all these haters are cooking spaghetti and then they throw one noodle up to the ceiling to see if it sticks, if it's ready, and it's never ready and it always falls off. So that's
and
what
it's
they're
like,
doing.
and it's like, when are they going to stop throwing noodles? You know, aren't they going to get?
Exactly.
Come on,
Like,
there's not many noodles left here. You know, the noodles that you're
but
making up are like
but
really.
there's a reason behind it. Nobody keeps
Yeah.
going, in my opinion, for this many years, right?
No.
Being targeted
No.
and maliciously prosecuted and cyber stalked and cyber harassed and terroristic threats unless they have an ulterior motive and agenda. And you know what it's called?
It's called
Money.
It's vengeful. It's very vengeful, exactly, to go to this level. I know. You're right.
Yeah, and the guy wanted to be famous. Well, he's gonna end up being famous in prison. So he's gonna end up being famous in prison. So, and all the people, all the fans that were my fans that turned their backs on me, I will never forgive you, because I explained it so many times, and
Yeah, I know.
you guys can comment all you want. You can say narcissist a million times. So, like, but apparently I'm the narcissist. It's like I'm the one that's the narcissist. But
Well,
I'm not defiling Ganval's, William James Witt's house with toilet.
no,
I'm not like, it's like a little kid that's like decides to go. Oh, they hate this one kid, and they decide, oh, I'm gonna go toilet paper his house. Like, grow up.
well,
Get
yeah.
a job. Ganval, William James Witt, you have a bachelor's degree in psychology, which is something you're not using in the right way, and you're hurting people. And you can't keep going around hurting people and then not expect to have the repercussions from it. Because
No.
there will be one person one day that you fuck with that will spend 50 grand to take you down. They said, don't give him no publicity. No, I'm going to drag his ass out into the light like a troll. What? Oh yeah, the state of Florida. He's got 4 other cases. He just got a continuation on a case for somebody else that he's doing this to. So I'm not the only person. They want him to get in trouble, and the detective and the Secret Service are on him like flies on shit. And they got enough information now from yours truly, because I know the art of war. And you know what? Instead of doing it right when it happened, I let him keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going. And now I actually have a legitimate lawsuit to send a demand letter to Google and Twitter and YouTube. And if they don't remove everything, they're going to have to pay me $10 million, probably settle for 7.
Wow.
So
Okay.
thank you, YouTube and Twitter, for violating the TOSs. Thank you, because you won't even let people upload cat videos. But so thank you for you for that, because someone goes, why you're so loud and offended by this idiot? Why are you so illiterate in your grammar when you're asking a question that is unsolicited? In my opinion,
how can you not be offended? I don't think, as a person, or not offended or not bothered, even feel, even a little bit of fear. And it's not fear of getting hurt. It's like, when is this going to stop? I think we've categorized it. I think what we're talking about, this is obsessive. This is regressive. Okay. This is vindictive, and there's an element of paranoia, okay, going on here.
yep.
Things are definitely happening For sure. And also, while you're saying like, yeah, well, you know, someone's not going to stop. Someone's going to really get him. The other side here is that there's also that someone who doesn't have the ability to fight like you do, who might actually hurt themselves. You know, this is really dangerous behavior that's taking place here.
Oh, that's kind of like what I wanted your opinion on.
Yeah.
Based upon like your experience in this world, because, you know, I could talk to random people until I'm blue in the face all day, but if I'm not talking to a professional, you know, such as yourself, somebody who actually has knowledge in this and speaking it in different terminologies in different ways, analytically, metaphorically speaking, that I might not have understood before. And the whole thing behind this is, it's like, this is not a situation of just normal behavior.
No, this is definitely abnormal. And
It's abnormal, right?
Very abnormal. This is not of the norm. And this is something to be concerned about. Definitely. And Aaron, I'm going to have to get going, but if you ever want to do a live or something where we could talk about this some more, and I'll wear like a dress shirt.
Yeah, no, I would love to do, like, let's, you know, I would love to do that. I'm going to make sure I, here, just send me a comment real quick. Just type in hi.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll hit follow. Just type in hi on it and hit follow.
And I'll write you because I'd love to keep talking about this. I'm really passionate about, you know, stopping bullying, like in so many forms. This is really destructive for people.
So am I. And so am I. Yeah. And that's what a lot of people, you know, they always say, oh, just ignore it. Don't pay attention to it. And that's what I'm saying. Are you going to ignore somebody, whether they hurt you or not, and they're in a wheelchair and they throw their whiskey at you because you don't even smoke a cigarette, and then they cross in the snow and they fall in the middle of the road? You're still not going to fucking help them? What's wrong with you people?
Exactly. We have to stop ignoring. It only allows this.
You can't ignore it. People don't ignore sexually abused victims. People don't ignore people who have been raped. People don't ignore people who are scarred, hurt, mentally hurt, offended, you know, struggling. They don't ignore them. I definitely don't. So,
no, exactly. The only way we change is, you know, we got to keep pointing out these things, even if you're in an office and in school, on a street, you see someone being mistreated.
Exactly. Thank you. Finally, one person that actually gets what I'm doing.
Oh, yeah, I get it, Aaron.
That gets what I'm standing for, because that's why I call it LMG, the Love Movement Gang.
Oh, yeah.
It's because that's what it is. We need to hold ourselves accountable on our own. All right. So, you know, everything that I've done in my life, I've held myself accountable for. Mm-hmm. So if I've done this or that wrong, okay, well, I'll be the first one to tell you I fucked up. You know what I mean?
And so that's real vulnerability, and people vibe with that. People grow from that. That's how we connect with others, because again, like, people are imperfect. That's part of being a human. Right?
And here's the thing too. When you do that and there's people that aren't in recovery, they project.
Exactly.
They project. And then what they are is just like you said, a reflection of themselves.
Exactly.
So let's get back on, you know, whenever you want to send me a DM, and maybe we can really dive into this.
I'd really like that. And
kind of pick up where we left off. We'll touch base on that. We'll tap into what we were talking about. But I really want to shine some light on, you know, the specific targeted cyber stalking, terroristic threatening felonies that are coming my way, and that people think I'm just going to back down for, and they're going to cancel me. No. Remember this, before we end this, guys, cancel cultures can also be canceled.
Oh, I like that. Cancel cultures can be canceled.
Right.
Exactly, Aaron. Okay.
All right. It was a blessing talking to you. Thank you so much.
You too. This is really
all right. I'm posting this on the gram.
Thanks. Awesome. Bye, Aaron.
Bye, honey.